Welcome back to the beer table. We've been gone for a little while. Again, another summer hiatus. Here we come into fall, so we're doing a fall beer, a porter, which we haven't done before. I don't think we've drank any porters together. So we all kind of picked a porter that we either really liked or we thought would be really good. Kind of Pacific Northwest, but then we threw Ballast Point in too to get a little West Coast, and that's a highly rated porter, so that'll be a fun one to taste. So we're just going to taste them and see how we like them, and away we go. And again, I'm John.
And I'm Gary.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Kevin.
I'm Tom. Let's get going. I picked Pike's Post Alley Porter. ABV of 6.0. Made in Seattle by Pike's Brewery. And like most porters, chocolatey coffee tastes. I have not had this one yet, so let's give it a go.
It's nice. I like it. And you can definitely, you get the coffee out of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, right out of the gate, the Pike's is a straight up porter, whereas the other ones are Imperials. And part of that is our seasonality, because we're rolling into that Imperial Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And so some of the porters are disappearing from the shelves, and we're left with Imperial porters.
I think this is a really well balanced beer, really nice flavors. This is very reminiscent of this is my favorite genre of beers. I love porters. Very reminiscent of Grant's Perfect Porter.
Yeah.
Grant's, they don't make that anymore, which is a bummer. Awesome beer. I'd go get some.
Yeah, that's a really good example of a porter, no question.
Classic.
It's a good, straight-up classic porter. Well done.
Yeah.
So what is a good straight classic porter? We never said what it was.
Pikes.
Well, a little bit maltier, a little more barley than a dark ale, and certainly lighter than a stout. The stouts are real thick and chewy.
Yeah.
It just has that fill in that category.
Roasted barley and
Roasted barley.
coffee
A little bit of
flavors.
coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Very approachable,
Perfect.
very drinkable.
Yeah.
And
very
that's
much so.
This is
a
nice.
good example of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Excellent
absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
What's next?
What is next?
Kevin, I think
Alaskan.
you're up.
Alaskan, yeah.
That is good. Good selection, Tom.
Well, this happened to be squirreled away in my closet. '09 Alaskan Baltic Porter.
Oh, 2009.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it's been around for a bit.
What
And
was the ABV on this?
9.8.
9.8. So a little, quite a bit stronger than the Pike.
Yeah.
So we'll.
Well, and the Baltic porters being a little different barleys, I think, something like that. Back historically, they were shipping it, and they had to last longer, and the Baltic has a distinct.
Okay.
I gotta say, this one's really syrupy. It's almost medicinal.
Well, it's an 09,
I mean,
so
yeah.
it's been cellared, and that may have sometimes porters don't last as long as some big stouts. So
Yeah.
there, I noticed when I was looking at Beer Advocate today, a lot of us said not to cellar them. There were a number that said drink them.
Yep.
This
So
is
we're doing
brewed with cherries and brown sugar, vanilla beans, and oak chips.
Yeah.
This beer is,
got
they
some
now say it's
complexity.
from their pilot series, and that beer, if I'm not mistaken, in 1 year won an award somewhere. So it's an
Okay.
award-winning beer.
And you can taste the cherries. was
I
trying to
taste
put
the
my
cherries,
finger
and
in
I
it.
like cherry. I actually really like this beer.
I do too.
It's
Yeah.
a complexity.
But you like it because it's sweet, John.
I like it because it's
Johnson.
sweet. It has cherries in it.
And then that means it goes well with chocolate. And
Oh,
so-
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all these will go well with chocolate, so it's not a problem with that.
And that's part of why we have Kevin here today. Kevin is our chocolatier in town from Chocolate Necessities. And so we're doing a little chocolate porter tasting, which is sort of a natural.
I should add award-winning chocolatier.
Yeah, there
right.
you go.
Don't miss that.
There you go. Oh, no.
So I got two chocolates here. One is a 44% milk chocolate. And it's got just enough cocoa notes to carry its flavor, but it adds sweetness to even the darker ones. So that's one thing to bounce off of this. The other one is a 75%. It's from Kalari, real serious cocoa flavor there. So they're both on each spectrum, just have their own voice to say in it. I think it resonates well with any of these actually, without even tasting them. But there'll be some that are actually better than. But for a pairing, you can't really go wrong with chocolate that has a decent cocoa content and a nice, that malty, smooth and light porter. So.
Should you start with the lighter cocoa content, the milk?
Yep.
Start with that? Okay.
So is this more of a milk chocolate than the other Vita Dark?
definitely.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
That's delicious.
Very nice.
Oh,
That's a
delicious.
really nice creamy texture to what this cherry and the
Especially
coffee.
the chocolate and the cherry. I love it. That's a great flavor combination.
That's an old ladies
Oh, I just, you know.
candy, isn't it?
No, it is, but I like that.
All right.
That's really good. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, next up is Ballast Point out of San Diego, and this is a combination of Victory at Sea and Ballast Point, two breweries out of San Diego, been around a long time. It's an imperial again. It's 10 proof, and so lots of vanilla from the Victory at Sea is what the research says. Coffees, roasted barleys. And bound to be strong. You know,
Yeah. Should be a little bit. You know, it's not. I'm not getting a ton on the nose though.
This beer is has been widely tasted. It's actually in Beer Advocate's, what do they call their top ranking? World class. They say this is a world class must drink beer. So
Interesting.
This
This
is
is
the-
vanilla.
this is rated number 6 by Beer Advocate, which
It would
is
go good with this.
way
Yeah.
up there.
With the dark, yeah.
This is the 75% cocoa content.
And that cherry went great with the milk, and then here you this heavy vanilla in this beer, and with the dark.
There is a
yeah.
lot of vanilla in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting porter.
And
It's
I mean, it's-
different than.
it's not-
It's definitely
less,
different.
less sweet than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Definitely, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't follow the lines of a classic porter. I mean, it does have that coffee flavor and a little bit of cocoa.
Has it got
there's-
fruit in it, Alan? Do you know? Does it have something? It's tart.
You know, I don't.
There's a bite to it.
There's
Yeah.
something.
That
and
is
the coffee's
just-
lighter than some of the
Yeah,
others too.
you're right,
Let me see if there-
exactly.
I had some. No. Caramels, vanillas.
Kevin, snap me off a piece of the dark. I think I'm gonna have to try it with that.
There's some here.
Oh,
Yeah, just-
sorry.
there you go.
Very good.
What are you tasting?
I think that's,
I do taste the fruit, but I think it's the bitterness of the chocolate. I think our director is telling us we need to move.
To carry on. Okay.
What's next?
Let's do. Should we do mine? I have the Class of '88 Imperial Smoked Porter, and this is a combo between Great Lakes Brewing out of Cleveland, Ohio, and Deschutes Brewery. And then they each brewed the beer, and they got a little bit different scores. When Deschutes brewed it, it got like a 96 on Rate Beer and an 88 on Beer Advocate, and it was only an 89 on Rate Beer when Great Lakes brewed it, which I'm not. Deschutes brews fabulous beer. I don't know a lot about Great Lakes, but they do just such a great job. And this ranges from 9 to 10%, depending on what site you looked at. It had a different ABV, and it's 50 IBUs, so it's pretty high on the IBUs for a porter, actually, I think. So that might give it some different. Does it give it some nose?
You know, it does. It has
And
a very
it's
interesting
probably got
nose.
some
a
good
little-
bitters to
A
it.
little funkiness, but it almost has a maple
There was a
maple
lot of-
syrup.
Well, and there was a
on the
lot of
nose.
people who said like maple bacon. It had. There was all these. People said smoke, dark chocolate, bacon, Gouda, raisin, licorice, brown sugar,
Right.
campfire. You got
Raisin.
all of those raisin.
Raisin, but a lot of smoke.
There's a lot of smoke
Oh,
in that, baby.
that's all I'm tasting.
Smells like our barbecue last night.
wow.
Wow.
That's
Yep. Raisin.
Because the brewer talked about like subtle smoke. So I wondered, is it subtle smoke or is it pretty?
There's nothing subtle about this.
No, it pops.
No,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
I did have a really heavy smoked porter years ago, though, that tasted like a house fire. It literally tasted like a pint that had been left in a house fire, and it was so smoky it was overbearing. And, you know, I don't get that from this.
Really?
No.
Taste it. I think you'll get it. You're going to say, I just went out and licked the Weaver.
Oh, I think that's fabulous.
No, I think you're wrong.
Oh, you're full of it. Oh, you're a silly man. Silly man. That's a good beer.
No, it is good, but
Is
to
it
me,
too
it's-
smoky for you?
It's too smoky for me.
It's got that taste that those strong scotches have sometimes. That smoky,
Yeah.
burnt leather.
And it
nasty,
is. It
shitty
is.
taste. Yeah.
No, it's not
More
nasty. It's
chocolate with it.
I
delicious.
don't know who's back there.
I like
See?
it.
If you were a pirate in the sea and you had to eat your boot, you would love this. You know? You're
So
crazy.
Of the
That's
two,
right. I
good.
Of the two chocolates, do you think the milk chocolate or the dark chocolate goes better with that one? I go milk.
Milk.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
think this would be
The
a,
raisin
is
where the
milk.
beer before this, Ballast Point, was totally dark chocolate. This is more milk.
Yeah.
I actually just love that
I'm
beer.
ahead of you guys here.
Huh?
All right,
Interesting.
we'll move on then.
That's good. I mean, it's good. it's still, gosh, it's just really smoky.
Hey, you know what? You eat the chocolate with it, it cuts that smoky flavor down a bit, makes it perfect.
That's right.
You got to try it next time around. Okay, last beer. Go ahead, John. I'll start talking about this. Oh, this is the Black Butte 25th anniversary ale from Deschutes. 11.3%, 64 IBUs.
Ooh, nice.
This beer is brewed with dates, figs, chocolate, and they didn't say whether it was chocolate nibs or chocolate syrup. Kevin might know the difference. And black currants. And it's barrel aged in bourbon barrels. It's supposed to have a tart berry nose, and a tart berry and chocolate nose, and you're supposed to get out of the palate layers of dried fruit, oak, and vanilla.
I would agree with that description, but the nose, I would disagree. That is floral,
Really?
sweet,
Wow.
Get the vanilla.
caramely.
Wow.
That's
That's
delicious.
beautiful.
I agree
Man.
with that.
That
I don't get
bourbon
any
barrel
tart berry.
aged, that I get. That's just, and it's subtle. It's not over the top. It's just right. Where
Yeah,
it
you
didn't.
can taste the barrel age on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tart.
Yeah.
Really?
You know, uniquely, we've done a lot of beer tasting of different genres of beer, but I would say here we're doing 5 porters, and they're quite diverse.
Oh yeah, the
I mean,
very
you know,
different flavor
very
from every
different
one.
flavor,
I
yeah.
picked the dark with this one.
Yeah. You know, and if you don't think you like porters and you haven't tried one of these, go out and find these beers because this may completely change your mind. You know, I mean, there are a lot of people who think, oh, I only like stouts because they're bigger and there's more flavor. And I mean, you can't get more flavor than a couple
No.
of these
Yeah, it's
beers. No way.
Okay, before we wrap it up, we got to figure out what our favorite beers were here. Alan, what was your favorite beer?
You know, I'm going to say Ballast Point. I really enjoyed the Pike, but again, it was not an Imperial. I liked the Black Butte better than the Smoke, but they were great. This one had the cherry in it. It was fabulous with
So you
chocolate.
like Ballast Point?
Ballast Point for the.
Floated your boat.
What about you, Kevin?
I'm easy. It's the shoots. Complexity always gets me. And
The Black Butte, all right.
I'm short and sweet. Deschutes.
Black Butte, right?
Because they're two. They're
sorry.
both Deschutes.
Oops.
There you go.
Oh, the Black Butte.
Black Butte.
There
John?
you go. I too am Black Butte with that smoked porter just a fudge behind it. I thought that was going to be my favorite, and but there's just too much going on.
John's a
in that.
Deschutes man.
I am a Deschutes guy. There's no doubt about it.
My favorite one was the Black Butte 25th anniversary ale also. So, well, that's it. Another show. Look for us next time being hopefully some.
Yeah, keep on going.
Oh.
I was like, look at the camera. Come on, man.
Look for us next time. Sorry, being hopefully either in the Seattle area doing some brewery shows, or we're thinking about going to Bend and doing a few shows there. So we're gonna try to crank it up a little bit in the fall and do a couple more shows for you guys
And hit the road.
and hit the road. We got a lot to do. We got a dozen breweries that have invited us to come do shows. Before we sign off here, we want to thank Kevin for coming today, the owner of Chocolate Necessities here in Bellingham, Washington. Fabulous chocolate shop. You guys got to go there if you're local. If not, get online, chocolatenecessities.com, and you can order online.
Right. Goes great with beer.
Oh,
Definitely.
awesome with beer.
So that's it.
Right on.
Thanks
As
for
always.
joining
Thank
us. Watch for the links on the show to Kevin and whatever else, and we'll see you guys next time.
Drink responsibly.
Right.